Welcome back to Daily Red Devil. We have so much to discuss on the show this morning, but before we get into that, please do me a small favour. If you are watching the video for the first time today, please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're just about to hit 44,000. I think we're about 7 subscribers away, so please go and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a regular here, don't forget to like the video as well. Let's try and see 1,000 likes on today's episode. On today's stream, we're going to be talking about Carlos Baleba. We're going to be talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I've got a question to ask you. Would you be happy if Rasmus Højlund went out on loan and Manchester United brought in Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a free agent? Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. I'm sure this is going to be a relatively controversial topic, so get your thoughts in. I'll read through all the comments. I look forward to seeing what you have to say, and we will run a poll in the live chat as well. So if you're watching the video live, you'll be able to get involved in that poll. So I'm going to do this. Would you be happy if Højlund left on loan and Calvert-Lewin signed on a free? There we go. So that's the question for today's stream. Starting question. Would you be happy if Højlund left on loan and Calvert-Lewin signed on a free? Let me know your thoughts. I feel like this is going to be a pretty divisive topic, but let's bring you where this news story came from. So it's coming from the Manchester Evening News this morning that apparently this story is just stupid, but I'm going to read it out anyway. So apparently Dominic Calvert-Lewin has sacked his agent because he doesn't think he was doing a very good job. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin is desperate to join Manchester United and thinks that if he sacks his agent, Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be able to force a move to Manchester United himself. I don't really know what to say about that, to be honest. The fact that nobody wants to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin and the Premier League season starts on Friday kind of sums it up for me. The first game of the Premier League is literally on Friday, I believe, right? I think, or does it start on Saturday? Let me just check. Yeah, Friday. This coming Friday, Liverpool play Bournemouth at 8 o'clock. So in 4 days, the Premier League is in full swing. Obviously, there's games on Saturday, on Sunday. And as it stands, at the point of recording this video, 4 days away from the Premier League season starting, Dominic Lewin has no club. I don't know. Is he training? Is he injured still? I have no idea. But apparently he's sacked his agent and he is now seeking a move to Manchester United himself. Some people, ESPN, a couple of others. This is coming from the ESPN. It's coming from Manchester Evening News. It's coming from a couple of other places as well, saying that apparently he's going to try and force a move to Manchester United himself. And apparently he's trying to broker his own deal, which is effectively negotiate his own deal. It's a shame for Dominic Calvert-Lewin because there was a period I remember 3 or 4 years ago where he was linked to Arsenal. He actually looked like a decent player, but he's just been injury riddled, and it would be a massive mistake, I think. I mean, I'm looking at his injury record here. It is absolutely awful. In the last 4 seasons, 33 games, injury, 29. Season after that was 15, and the season after that was 20. So for the last 3 years, he's averaged probably 25 to 30 games per season missed. And when you think that Everton weren't in Europe either, so that's 29 Premier League games probably, or 33 Premier League games, It's not like they had a 60, 70 game season and he missed half of it. They probably had a 50 game season and he missed 33 games, which is what's that, 3/4, maybe more even? Yeah, probably about, let's say 3/4 of the games each season. It's a massive no for me, and I would not understand the logic behind loaning out Rasmus. It's not just the Manchester Evening News reporting this story, by the way. There's about 4 or 5 different newspapers reporting it. The general headline is, right? Oh, I got a sneeze coming. The general headline is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin has sacked his agent, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is trying to force a move to Manchester United himself. I would not understand this at all. I think, especially when you factor in that Højlund's supposedly going to leave, what's the logic there? Even if Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a free agent, you're still going to have to pay him wages. And the problem is, right, this Rasmus Højlund deal, all they're giving us is, I think it's £4 million, right, as a loan fee, which probably just about covers his wages. So what's the logic in loaning out Rasmus Højlund, not getting a transfer fee, just getting his wages recouped, and then using that money to go and sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, I think this is probably just Dominic Calvert-Lewin desperate and said, you know what, I'm going to put a story out to the media saying that I've sacked my agent and saying that I'm, going to force a move to Manchester United. Realistically, he'll probably end up in the Championship, I reckon. Maybe not even, I just think I would be honestly stunned if Manchester United think signing Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a good idea. But I don't know. Manchester United do always cease to amaze me. Yeah. If it was the Glazers, we probably would be doing this deal. We'd probably think, oh yeah, that's genius. Let's bring him in. Great. Free agent. Amazing. But surely Ineos aren't going to be that stupid. Surely. Anyway, we'll see. You can let me know your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. In relation to Rasmus Højlund, the latest on Højlund is this. Let's have a look. Where is it? So the latest on Rasmus Højlund is that apparently AC Milan have offered £4 million as a loan fee, and they're willing to pay an option to buy for around 35 to 36 million pounds. So he'd go to AC Milan on loan this season. If he does well, they'd keep him. If he doesn't do well, they'll send him back. And the reason for this, apparently Manchester United want to free up space in the squad. They want to give Xerxes a chance. Yeah, I don't really get it, though. We only have one striker at the moment. Sorry, we only have two strikers. We have Højlund and Šeško. I don't think Chido Obi is ready to be starting every game for Man United. And what happens if Šeško gets injured? Are we going to end up playing Mbumo as a striker or Cunha as a striker? I don't really want to see that. I just don't think that really works that well. I know that both of those two players have played as number 9s in previous clubs, obviously for Everton and Brentford, respectively. But it's just not for me, I don't think. I would rather those players play in their best positions than put them up front just because there isn't any other option. It doesn't mean it wouldn't work. Maybe it does work over time, but yeah, I just personally would not like to do that. That's the latest on that one. Højlund to AC Milan. Højlund doesn't want to leave, by the way. Højlund wants to stay and fight for his place. But for whatever reason, Manchester United want to move him on, which I guess is up to them. That's fair enough. So that's that. And then obviously with this Dominic Calvert-Lewin stuff, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I would be absolutely shocked if Manchester United bring in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And I personally think that this story this morning is just, I was going to say agent-driven, but he sacked his agent. So this is Dominic Calvert-Lewin putting this story out himself to try and get a move. So yeah, for me, it's a no. If you disagree, obviously, please do let me know in the comments section. Do you think that would be a good bit of business to do, loaning out Højlund and bringing in Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a free? Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. Moving on from that, though, we're going to talk about Carlos Baleba. Lots and lots more stories coming out about this one today, which is really, really exciting. Apparently, there's a report this morning saying that he's handed in a transfer request and he wants to come to Manchester United. Okay, that's great. That does always help when players are pushing for the move. Now, there's obviously many reasons why the player might want to do that. The most obvious being at Brighton, he's only on about 12 grand a week, which is, let's be honest, for a footballer, it's not very much at all. I think there's even players in League One who earn more than £12,000. Yeah. So last season in League One, which is two leagues below the Premier League, let's have a look. I think there'll be multiple players who earn more than £12,000 a week, to be honest. So yeah, here we go. So last season, the highest paid player in the League One, which is 2 divisions below the Premier League, was Barry Bannon, who was on £21,000 a week. So he was on nearly double what Premier League starting midfielder Carlos Baleba is earning at Brighton. If you look at the Championship as an example, right? Just to give you a bit more context. There's probably players on 50? I mean, yeah, you go down to the Championship, right? Aaron Ramsdale at Southampton, 120 grand a week. Harry Winks at Leicester, 90 grand a week. You've got Samare at Leicester, 80 grand a week. Ricardo Pereira at Leicester, 80 grand a week. You get the point here, right? Literally every single player. There's a list of about 50 players on this on the screen I'm looking at, right? And the lowest paid player on this list of top earners in the Championship is on 35 grand a week, which is 3 times what he's being earned. So I don't blame him for handing in a transfer request. I mean, worst case scenario for him, Brighton don't agree a deal with Manchester United. He gets a new deal, maybe with a release clause for next summer. That's probably the most realistic outcome from this situation, to be fair. Although apparently Manchester United are confident they can get this deal done. Obviously, funds are going to come in from Sancho, from Anthony and from Garnacho in the final kind of weeks of the window. It could even be as much as 100 million from those 3 players. 30 for Anthony, about 30 to 40. I mean, the asking price for Garnacho is 50, but I reckon it'll be more like 30 to 40. And then another 15 to 20 from Sancho. That gets you, I think that gets you about 80, 90 kind of bottom end. Obviously, if those players go for a little bit more, say you get 50 for Garnacho, you get 35 for Anthony, and you get 15 for Sancho, that's 100 million, right? So it is possible financially. Those 3 players will leave. Obviously, Malacia is going to leave as well. Rashford's gone. Eriksen's gone. Lindelof's gone. Johnny Evans is gone. Rasmus is probably going to go. So that's a lot of outgoings, and that's a lot of wages freed up, which will allow us to, to play with our transfer budget. And obviously, remember, no transfer is ever done in 1 year in relation to PSR. It will be spread across the length of the contract. So if we signed Carlos Baleba on a 5-year deal for, say, let's say we got him for £80 million, right? It would be 80 million divided by 5. That would be the transfer fee. That would be the yearly kind of transfer fee on the PSR book. So it would be, 14, 15? I can't do my maths today. What's 80 divided by 5? Is it 16? 80 divided by 5. I'm going to go with 16. Final answer. Yeah, 16. Is that right? 80 divided by 5. Yeah, 16. So it'd be £16 million this summer, effectively, in relation to PSR. And when you think that 16 million for him, Sesko, I think, is about 12 million this year. And Mbumo's about 12 million as well. And remember that Cunha was not included in this year's PSR. He was in last year's. So Cunha doesn't count towards this transfer window in relation to PSR. He was in last year's. So if we were to sign Mbumo, Sesko and Baleba this transfer window and in this PSR period, and we spread it over the lengths of their contracts, which every single transfer is done, over a 5-year period, our outgoings this summer would actually only be £40 million, which is kind of mad to think, isn't it? That you could spend, around 200 million, but you're actually only spending 40 million in relation to PSR. So that's how that's how teams spend so much money. The problem is the cash flow. It's actually having the money to buy the players. It's not so much the PSR situation, because we make so much money as a club from our commercial values, from our sponsorships, from our match day revenue, from our shirts, from our sponsorship of Adidas and all the rest of it, that we do have the money to throw around. It's just making sure that cash flow is there and it's available. Hence why we need to move on Sancho, Garnacho, Anthony, Rashford, Malacia, Eriksen, Lindelof, Johnny Evans, etc. So I don't think it's beyond the realms of imagination. We've got a super chat coming in here from Ray. Thank you, Ray. Ray says, it is a bizarre move. Xerxes scored 3 goals in the league. I don't rate him. No back up for Sesko. I am worried. I don't want to see Mason Mount as number 9. Wow. Well, that's the stuff of nightmares. That's absolutely the stuff of nightmares, Ray. Mason Mount as number 9. Oh, God. I didn't want to read that on a Monday morning. Wow. Thank you for your super chat, though, Ray. I appreciate you, man. I definitely don't want to see Mason Mount as a number 9. I don't want to see Bruno as a number 9. I don't want to see Cunha as a number 9. I don't want to see Mbumo as a number 9. I want to see a striker play as a striker. I'm sick of us chucking random players in positions. I mean, even Kobbie Mainoo played as a number 9 once. Like, really? We need, at Manchester United, proper strikers playing as a striker. Proper strikers are Sesko, Chido Obi. Rasmus Højlund is a striker. Whether you like him or not, he is a number 9. He's not a winger. He's not a midfielder. He's a number 9. So yeah, I don't really understand this whole thing. I get that we're only going to be playing one game a week. I get that, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a dressing room type thing, you know, where Ruben Amorim doesn't want there to be 4 players fighting for the same position. But I don't really understand that, because what happens if Šeško gets injured? What do we do then? Like, what happens? You know, you loaned out Rasmus Højlund and then Šeško gets injured. Do we really think that Chido Obi is ready to play every game for United in the Premier League? I don't think he is. I think he needs a loan. He's a 19-year-old kid who's played 5 games for Manchester United. I think he's extremely talented, Chido Obi, but I think he definitely deserves a loan move away, and I think he definitely deserves that time and that space to grow. Yeah, so for me, I wouldn't let Højlund go unless it was on a permanent deal. If we could get 40 million for Højlund and we could then go and reinvest that money in another area of the pitch, I would definitely sell Højlund in a heartbeat. I would sell him. I would bring in like a cheaper striker as a backup, and I'd then just go and buy Carlos Baleba and get a goalkeeper. That's what I would do. But again, do we think that will happen? I don't know, but it does look like Højlund is on the way out. You know, there is a wide level of reporting this morning that apparently Højlund has been told that he's out effectively. He's gone. He's surplus to requirements. Which is, to be fair, a lot of us wanted Højlund to be moved on. So, you know, we can't really complain that Højlund's being let go of. I think it's more just, are we leaving ourselves a little bit short in the attacking areas? I don't know. Who knows? So it's a difficult one. Maybe what we have is enough. Maybe we don't need to bring in another striker. Maybe Šeško stays fit all season. If you look at Šeško's injury record, it is absolutely incredible. So based on the stats, based on previous experience, Šeško should be available to play all season, especially if it's only 1 game a week. Like, go and have a look at his injury record. In fact, I'll do it for you now. So I remember I looked at his injury record before we signed him, and I was very impressed. So in Šeško's whole career, right? Bear in mind, he's been playing at the top level, I think, since he was about 16. I think he started, he was kind of like a name on the scene. He's only missed 13 games through injury in 6 years. 1-3. And that was just one injury he had about 4 years ago. He hasn't missed a game through injury in 4 years. Not one. And that's since 2019 when he joined RB Salzburg. So that was 6 years ago. In 6 years, he's missed 14 games. That includes international as well. 14 games in all competitions. That was in 2021 when he first joined Salzburg. I mean, that is a fantastic injury record. Knowing Manchester United, he'll probably be injured a week after he joins. Everyone who comes to Manchester United seems to suddenly just get injured out of nowhere, don't they? Which is quite strange. But Greg says, what about Bruno as a false 9? I don't like Bruno as a false 9, I'm going to be honest. I know Man City have won Premier Leagues with midfielders as false 9s, but yeah, not for me. Somebody says, what about Cunha? He can play as a striker. Cunha can play as a striker, but my point being is Cunha isn't a striker. He's a central attacking midfielder, and I know he can play in that position. But if you look at, let's have a look. So we're going on Transfer Market. Whilst I'm doing this, guys, can everyone who's watching, we've got over 1,000 people in the room right now. Can you all give the video a thumbs up? Give the video a like. It doesn't cost you any money. Let's try and get to 1,000 likes. And be sure to subscribe as well, guys. We're literally 4 subscribers away from 44,000. So please go and subscribe right now. 1 away. Who's going to be the 44,000 subscriber? 1 subscriber away. Come on, who's it going to be? Literally 1 away, chat, from 44k. I'm going to check back in a minute, and hopefully we've hit that 44k. All right, so if we have a look at Cunha over his career, yeah? I want to see how many times he's played as a number 9. Because I don't think it's going to be as much as you actually think. So let's have a look. I mean, to be fair, maybe I'm wrong there. Wow, he is versatile, isn't he? So let me run through it for you. Cunha has played right winger, second striker, left winger, attacking midfielder, and centre forward. And those stats are relatively balanced across all of those different positions. So it's not like he played as a right winger once. And interestingly enough, his most goals and assists have come when he played as a centre forward. Maybe we don't need one then. Maybe we don't need one. Maybe I'm wrong. That's really, really interesting, actually. Really interesting. Someone saying, is it true that Garnacho apologised to Amorim? I don't know, mate. I've lost track of what's going on with Garnacho. All I do know is there's a picture circulating on social media. There's a picture circulating on social media today of Garnacho, and he's smoking a vape. I mean, it really doesn't look good, to be honest. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but yeah, there's literally a photo on social media this morning of Garnacho in a tattoo parlour and he's smoking a vape. I mean, professional footballers should not be doing that, I'm sorry. He really, really shouldn't. Obviously, the fan base is going into absolute hysteria on social media. I don't think I can get the picture up on the screen, but if you want to go and find that picture for yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. But yeah, he's in a tattoo parlour and he's literally sat there smoking a vape, which is just like, I don't know. And that picture's now obviously gone on the internet. He's not training. He's been banished from the team. Manchester United want rid of him. There's a lot of people, right, on social media saying that they think he's trying to lower his value. I don't know if that's true. Maybe he does just smoke a vape all the time. Who knows? But for this image to just conveniently go out there as he's trying to force a move out of the club, it does lower his value. There's no two ways about it. I mean, professional footballers should not be smoking. I'm sorry. There's no argument to it. You know, I get the whole thing where people say, "Oh, you know, let them do what they want in their own time." Fine, within reason, that's okay. But professional footballers should not be smoking vapes. I'm sorry. Whilst they're being paid, you know, what's he on, 50 to 100 grand a week? He's not training because he fell out with the manager. No one wants to buy him, and his response is, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the sinister fans are saying that they think he's purposely put it out there to try and drop his value. Yeah, I mean, Ant's saying about Cantona smoking. The thing is, that's different. Times have changed, innit? Like 20, 30, 40 years ago, like smoking, drinking was normal in football, but it's not anymore. I mean, the thing as well that you have to remember is, right, Ant, if this was like Garnacho goes on big night out after winning the Premier League and he's caught smoking a fag, you'd be like, you know what? Obviously, you shouldn't be doing that, but you've just won the Premier League. You're at the party. You've had a couple of drinks. It's the end of the season. But Al says Garnacho can smoke. It's a free country. What? Well, so you're telling me that professional athletes are allowed to smoke? I don't think you're quite understanding the point here. So this is a stupid argument. Garnacho can smoke. It's a free country. I mean, obviously, yeah, Garnacho could do anything. Garnacho could go and... I think that's just a bit of a stupid argument. Garnacho could go and drink 20 beers every night if he wanted to. But the point being is he's a professional footballer who earns crazy amounts of money as a professional athlete. Professional athletes should not be smoking. I'm sorry. That, like... Yeah, so obviously this is just digging himself into a bigger hole. And there are a lot of people, I'm not sure if I buy into this, to be honest. There are a lot of people out there who are saying that, there are a lot of people saying that they think that he's just trying to lower his value. Matthew says that Luka Modric smokes 20 fags a day. Really? Come on. Al says we can't stop the players from doing legal activities. Well, so footballers are allowed to smoke. Are you actually for real? Surely not. the point is, right, there is no law that says that you're not allowed to smoke a vape. Obviously not. That's not the point I'm making here. We're just painting a picture of what Garnacho's like as a person, right? We know that he's selfish on the pitch. We know that he's a selfish individual. After losing a Europa League final, he makes it about himself, right? That's a fact. Nobody wants to buy him. His price is dropping by the day. And now, conveniently, there's a picture of him smoking a vape out on social media. I mean, it just doesn't paint a good picture. That's all I'm saying. And it just means that all that's going to happen is Manchester United are going to get less money for him. That's all that's going to happen from this, which is just disappointing. So you are right in the sense that, yes, there is no legal law that says that Garnacho is not allowed to smoke, but it's not good, is it? We don't want that at our club. So yeah. All right. We've gone off on a little bit of a tangent here, guys. So we spoke about Baleba already, didn't we? My brain's not fully switched on yet. Yeah, we spoke about Baleba already. We've spoke about Rasmus. We've spoke about Dominic, Calvert-Lewin. We've obviously just spoke about Garnacho and his vape, which some people seem to think is all right. So yeah, I think that's everything we have planned for today. Hopefully this is a big week for Manchester United. There are some murmurs this morning, actually, which I wanted to mention, that apparently Manchester United are considering playing another friendly this week. This would be a behind closed doors friendly. The reason being, they want to give Onana and Benjamin Sesko some minutes. Obviously, Onana's not featured in any of pre-season. He went on the tour, but he's been injured. And obviously, Sesko only signed on Friday. So neither of the two players have had like a pre-season game yet. So apparently there's going to be another game between now and Sunday. I don't know who it's against. It's going to be behind closed doors. It'll probably be at like Carrington or whatever. So I think that's good. That's interesting to see. But other than that, we've covered everything from the stream. There is no news on Donnarumma at the moment, unfortunately, man. Very, very quiet. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Donnarumma. But I if you want my honest opinion, I don't think Donnarumma is going to end up at United. I think it's, again, very much agent-driven. And I think the most likely outcome is that Donnarumma will either sign a new deal or he'll end up like going to Saudi or something. So, yeah, I'll keep you updated as and when we get more news. But anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. We've had an amazing stream again, which is good to see. I'll be back tomorrow morning. What I do ask before you leave, make sure to give that video a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. And get the notification bell on as well. So, yeah, have an amazing Monday, everybody. I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.